And we are back at Gettysburg once again, so let us see what happens. It's 6:20, the sun is setting. His cavalry is just heading that direction. Which does give me an opportunity now, I think. Well, now that we've all lost sight of each other, I think I'm going to use the remaining time of day to get Anderson's division down here, ready to attack in the morning. I move Pender slightly further south, and then I move Heath to take Pender's position. The other option would be to move Anderson. Let's see what happened. 2 units undisrupted, 2 units recovered from fatigue. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe put Anderson... Where was it? Yeah, here. Put him here at the schoolhouse, ready for the morning. He's then close to attacking straight at the peach orchard in the morning. But that is me. Okay, let's have a look-see. Can't see anything, so in this case I'm going to probably move Jenkins' cavalry to basically watch the crossroads here. Basically have him watch the crossroads. Ready for the morning. Because in the morning, well, not in the morning, but early afternoon, Wade Hampton and Fitzhugh Lee will arrive, so... Which is something. Now, the question is... Alright, let's begin the shifting. We'll begin shifting. I will then tuck Scales, I think, into the line here. Tuck Scales in. Speaking of Scales, I'll look to rearm them quickly. Let's get them some ammo. Scales, you go there. Again, mostly just going to be preparing for the morning. But otherwise, it looks like, yes, Thomas is all but ready now. He's recovered. This is all Pender's artillery, so level up. Limber up. and get ready to move. Lane, you are also part of Pender, so you shift down as well. Who are you? Your Scales, right? And then Brockenbauer can move into this location. Maybe I'm a little making my position a little claustrophobic, but Pettigrew. Your Heath's artillery, so, and then you're all 3rd Corps artillery, so Davis, you can go sit there. Bring up. And then O'Neill can sit here. Ugh, I'm going to have to reorganise fast because I'm claustrophobically grouping up my divisions. Getting claustrophobic, which is not what I want. Doles, Ramshire, Iverson. Yep, you boys are all resting nicely. Yeah, definitely I'm making my position a little too claustrophobic. Concentrating too much in too small an area. So in this case then, since we can see a glorious total of 8 hexes, for the moment, Florida Brigade, you can come this way. You're all Mahone, right? You're all boys from Mahone, so you can move that way. And then you're Wilcox, so I think I'll just send Wilcox across country rather than up the road. Just send him that direction, will be quicker. And then Wright can continue to come down here. And then what to do with all my artillery? Well, I suppose the artillery can come this way, down the road, ready. Alright, you are Johnson's division. I suppose I could just pull Heath out of the line temporarily. Look to get him rested properly. Even though, for the most part, his troops are not too bad. But I get them rested, ready. That would buy me space to place Johnson's division. because he holds Benner Hill, it makes my position a little awkward. Because I probably would just go for the historical deployment at this point. But because he holds Benner Hill, I really can't justify it. So in that case, you get back on the road. Alright. Stonewall Brigade. Bring up the 2nd Corps Artillery Reserve. Nobody arrived. Nope. So for the most part, I mean, how else could I do it? Have maybe early here, basically positioned here, Rhodes here, Johnson taking Heath's position, Heath taking Pender, and then Pender and Anderson being based down here. Ugh. No, I don't think that's good enough. I think I'll just start pulling out brigades to act as reserves, essentially. So I pull out Archer's brigade to act as a reserve in Heath's division, which will create a bit more space. I pull out, say, who was the worst hit of Pender? Scales, I think, was the worst hit. But barely. Pender's division is remarkably intact. Oh, Lane. Lane was probably the worst hit. Yeah, Lane looks like it was the worst hit of all my brigades in his division. So I have, say, Lane in reserve. For Pender, which will create a bit more space. Yeah, I think that will work. Just basically pulling a brigade apiece back, a brigade from each division back as a reserve. In the meantime, however, we will continue to just move Gordon this way. And I think that will be pretty much it for the day. I think that's it for the day's movements. There we go. And then early goes there. Alright, early supply train. I'll bring it this way temporarily. Alright. Johnson, what to do? O'Neill did get pretty battered, but not nearly enough to have it as a reserve. Ramshaw got pretty battered, and his is a small brigade anyway. Doles is fairly decent for now. Daniel's brigade, fairly battered. Iverson's fairly battered as well. But all in all, everyone's basically as good as they could be for the end of the first day. Right. Johnson, get your butt over there. Your Rhodes is artillery. Alright, and then your Early's artillery. Maybe I should end up spending the early morning preparing. I could shift Thomas down another. What about the artillery? You're all 3rd Corps artillery reserves. You're all Pender's guns. So maybe I just focus a mass battery up here and look to just pound anything I see. But nah. As tempting as it might be, I'm not going to. Because, well, one, I pretty much know I'll lose an artillery duel. But otherwise, I think that is everything moved. Everything moved. Everybody's arriving. Who is the next to arrive now that I think about it? 1st South Carolina Rifles with Pender's divisional train at 7 p.m. Following that would be McClaw's at 9. And McClaw's arrives with Kershaw, Seams, Barksdale, Wolford, and his artillery and divisional train. Then 1st Corps Artillery Reserve arrives. The Washington Artillery arrives. And then Wright himself, who's going to be bloody late, Hood. Hood arrives at 8 a.m. So Hood's not going to be into position until late, maybe late afternoon, early afternoon. Well, he's not going to be into a good position until at least midday, so... which means 4 hours wasted, potentially. 11th Mississippi, you are part of Davis's. Stewart's divisional train. Pickett. Pickett arrives at 4:20. And then W. Jones will arrive at 10 a.m. on day 3, and then a bunch of horse artillery at 12. But for the most part, we are set. Doles, O'Neill. Yeah, I think I've underestimated just how much space a division will need. But for the most part, I think we're in a fairly, he says, fairly acceptable position. All right. Heath. You command all that. To be fair, Heath's and Pender's don't take up that much space. What about Early? Where is Early? Early, how much do you command? You really don't take up that much space, do you? So I think I can just tuck Early into about here. He's not exactly going to do much from there because I don't exactly want to be walking through the town. But otherwise, I think we are done with the turn. For the most part, we are just going to continue to rest, recoup, and prepare for the morning. So, onwards once again to the next turn. No melee because, well, we can't see anyone. Shocking. So, onwards. Onwards we go. I will see you with the next turn, which is 7 PM. Whoops. Anyway, I will see you all